Hey everyone, today I'm going to create some cards using an 8x8 paper pad. I picked up these two from the Paper Trey Ink clearance section, and I've got the candy cane on the right, and I'm flicking through the colours for you, and then the Argyle Socks on the left, and that's the one that has kind of the green and browns and then the grey and blues. And today I'm going to use half of that paper pad and then cut up the other pieces and create some card kits. The sale is still on, so if you are interested in getting some 8x8 paper pads, they are $2. So for 36 sheets, it's amazing. There's loads of different designs available as of today. I also selected a few of these text block dies. They're similar to a cover plate die, but a bit smaller, so they don't cover the whole front of a card. I'm about to do a video showcasing these. I thought I would show them, as some of these are as cheap as $2 as well. The final item that I purchased is a bit unusual. It's these envelope easy liners. Now, I have no idea how they're intended to be used, to be honest, but you get 60 in a pack, again, $2, and they're 4x6 inches. So I just chopped them down and turned them into card fronts, and I've made some awesome card kits, and there'll be a video on that coming shortly. The card sketch today is from Jess Crafts, and I'll put a link below to Jess's website. This is her template number 1 for an 8x8 size paper pad. I'm going to do a variation on this, but I just wanted to make sure I credited Jess's sketch because it was absolutely my inspiration. On the design, it actually has a full 1/4-inch border around the edge of the second piece of pattern paper. I chose to not do the border on the right-hand side, which means that when you lay it out on a card, and I'm using a standard A2 card base here, a standard A2 white card base, you can see I put the 5 1/4 by 4 pattern paper, and then I've cut down the mat so that it doesn't go over the right-hand side. This means that I can use a white mat, which is my favorite way to do it. It's nice and cheap, and it's also really a great contrast to the paper itself. You can see here I've already cut the paper down. It's a matter of cutting the 8x8 in half and then at 5 1/4, which leaves this 2 3/4 panel at the bottom. I'm running through everything I have in my stash. You'll probably recognize some of these from other videos. I have loads in my catalogue. There's been some where I've used these gnomes before, also videos where I've used the boats. I'm running through and using what I have and just trying to clear out some of my leftovers, and it works absolutely perfectly with the blue and grey tones. I'm going to put the brown and the green aside for card kits, but at the moment I'm just trying to work out which of the pattern papers works best with the die that I've created, and I thought the busier pattern paper works really well with the gnomes, and then the more subtle papers are better for the boats. So I have those all ready to go. So I'm creating 12 of each of those 3 designs. Right now is when I kind of made an interesting decision. So I was looking at the pattern paper, and this pattern paper is gorgeous and it is very heavy. It's like cardstock. And so I was looking at the contrast between the 2 pieces of paper, and I thought, could I try something different? Now, I don't know that I've ever done this before, but I decided to create the cards without the matting layer. So I popped the extra matting layers into my card kit, and I am going to go rogue. So here I am lining up the pattern paper on top of the grey, and I decided that I really liked it, so I went with it. It is a very different look. And I don't know, I think it worked. Let me know in the comments below if this is something that you think that you will try, or if it's something that you already do perhaps. So I'm running through here and I'm attaching all of these to the backing panels. I'm using my grid mat to make sure I'm lining things up. I'm not really worrying about how far down the pattern paper it is. It doesn't really matter. They don't all have to be perfect, but they do have to be straight. If they're not straight, then they're going to look extremely odd. So I'm just trying to get them straight, but I don't mind how deep they are down the pattern paper. So I've run through and I've done that for all 3 designs, and now I'm going through and I'm attaching the sentiment and then the gnomes on this set of cards. I'm just using my liquid glue, and then I think for some of my sentiments I already have some double-sided tape on the back, so you'll see me peeling those off and then attaching the gnomes. I try and create sentiments in bulk when I have leftover scrap paper, and then if I'm watching a movie or sitting in front of TV, I'll often sit there with some double-sided tape and just prep those. It just means it makes it a little bit easier when I'm working on a project, and I can pull all of my sentiments out of my stash, and I'll have plenty that are ready to go when I'm creating these types of cards in bulk. One of the sentiments that is quite new to me is the ones at the top of the screen that are really long. So these are a lawn fawn sentiment set that I got very recently, and I absolutely love them. They go right across a standard card base when you're using it portrait. And you can see here I'm putting some adhesive on the back of these. I love that they actually become part of the design, and the sentiments themselves, you can use a lot of them for people that you don't know. So if you donate cards like I do, then they're perfect, absolutely perfect. I'll put a link below to everything that I've used today or everything that's available. And this stamp set I highly, highly recommend. I'm now attaching the boats to the cards, and I'm going to pop these on the left-hand side of the sentiment. It just seems to give me a pretty good balance. And I'm not going to show you all of these. I'm just going to do a couple of them so that you get the gist. And all of these are the backing panels. So once I've actually completed putting all the cards together, I'm then going to just add some ATG to the back and then put them onto the card bases, all with a 1/4 inch border around the edge. For the final card design, I've already attached the happy birthday to the left-hand side, and now I've got my circle boat stickers, and I'm just going to put those on top again so that they're a bit offset to the left-hand side, but really a pretty simple and consistent design. There's not a lot to these cards. They were very, very quick to make, and I have ended up with 36 of them in the blue and grey, and I can create another 36 in the green and tan colour combination. So I'm basically going to end up with 36 cards using $1, so half a pattern paper pad worth of pattern paper, which is awesome. So I'm just adding them all to a white card base, which is very straightforward. I really don't need to show you much of this. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I will put a link here to another video that I think you might enjoy. Have a great day.